welcome. It is time to get started. Thank you for tuning in to our weekly Learning English live stream. My name is John, and today I am going to talk with you and give you some tips about how to make small talk in English. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to start with a couple of announcements. Number one, please go ahead and click the banner at the bottom of the screen if you're watching on YouTube, the top of the screen if you're watching on Facebook, and you can download the free 2000 Core Words English Workbook. This is great for all skill levels. So if you're just starting out and you want to improve your vocabulary, cut down on that pause time, spend less time thinking, what can I say? This is a great place for you to start. Also, if you've been practicing for a few weeks, few months, or a few years, and you want to review or compare, get some new words that you can also add to your existing vocabulary, this is a fantastic resource for you. All you need is a name and an email address to get started. You can create a free account and download the 2000 Core English Workbook, ebook, I should say. So it's great for all skill levels. Okay, so again, the topic for today is tips on making small talk. Now, I'd like to start by explaining what is small talk. Simple explanation for it is simple, informal conversation. Some people may say small talk is unimportant conversation, but I would beg to differ. Small talk is a great way to build relationships with people. So maybe you're starting a new English class. Maybe you're starting a new job. Maybe you're meeting a coworker in the elevator or at the train station. You're striking up a conversation with somebody and you feel, what can I say? Again, we want to avoid those awkward silences. So how can we talk freely, naturally, just off the top of our heads? Meetings, presentations, things like that, we often prepare for. People have notes, they may read off a paper. Small talk, we don't get that opportunity. It's all off the top of our head as we go. Because of this, many people struggle with small talk and feel scared or nervous. I'm talking to someone new, what can I say? So, in order to speak more freely, more fluently, and just relax, I'd like to share some tips with you today. So, before we begin, I'd like to say hello to everyone and get set up, everyone tuning in on YouTube. So, Alvaro, hello, and Karar, John, and Sergey, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. And again, we'll start off with some tips for making good small talk. So what I'd like to start with today is just the concept of active listening. So what is active listening? Many people feel that when you're listening to someone else speak, the other person is just waiting for their turn to talk, or maybe they seem bored or uninterested. So we want to avoid that, right? We want a good two-way conversation. Show the other person you're interested in what they're saying and you understand what they're saying. So, body language. There are many ways to have good and effective body language when listening to small talk. Number one, eye contact. Just look at the person. Make eye contact with them. Also, just nodding your head. To nod means just to move your head up and down, making the yes, right? The yes movement. Again, it shows you're listening, you're interested, and you understand. Finally, no phone. Have you ever been talking with someone and they're staring at their phone? Right? You maybe feel like they don't care. They don't want to know what I'm telling them. So I advise you, no phone. You can look at Instagram later. You can check your TikTok after the conversation. Please avoid scrolling at your phone. Make eye contact. Show the other person that you're interested and that you understand what they say. Now, maybe you don't understand what they say. Maybe some words are going over your head. You're not sure. What does that mean? Maybe they're talking about, oh, this weekend I went to the aquarium. And you think, aquarium? What's aquarium? What does that mean? I couldn't catch that. That's fine. There's no problem with that. In fact, this is a great way to learn new words, build your vocabulary. Of course, download the 2000 Core Word workbook and build that vocabulary, but you can also build it through conversation. So my next tip is to check and confirm your understanding. So an easy but effective way to do this is just to repeat new words. So again, someone maybe says, this weekend I went bowling. Bowling, bowling. What is that? I know bowl. I ate food out of a bowl. I ate rice. I ate cereal out of a bowl. Bowling, is that a verb? You can just ask. You said bowling. Is that right? You know, what is bowling? And then they can explain it to you. Again, you can also ask for explanations. Please do not hesitate to ask a person for a meaning of a word or what they mean when they say something. This doesn't mean that you're a bad student. It certainly doesn't mean you're stupid. We don't know every word in a language. Even native speakers make mistakes. So if you're not sure about the meaning of a word or a phrase, please don't hesitate to ask. What does mean? What does mining mean? You know, what does aquarium mean? You know, oh, you said pad thai. What is that? Is that food? What is that? It's okay to ask for definitions. Again, that's how we learn. Back to the chat here. Thank you everyone for your comments. So, Alvaro, it's nice to meet you. William, howdy partner. That's a very native expression there. So howdy. Hello to Sue. Hello to Albert. Albert, I am Noel. Albert or Noel, whichever you go by. Nice to meet you. Karar and Rocky from Windsor, Ontario. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Again, we're going over small talk tips today. So, active listening and check or confirm your understanding if you can't catch something. It's okay. Next, going back to being an active listener, some helpful feedback phrases that you can use. So we want to avoid being a silent listener. If someone is talking to you, or if you are talking to somebody and their reaction is, that's not very motivating, right? You feel like, maybe they don't like me, maybe they don't care about what I'm saying. So some feedback phrases, along with body language, you can just have some simple responses. Again, these are really simple but very effective ways to make you appear more engaged, interested, and fluent in the language. So just simple feedback phrases, just like, yeah, oh, really? These show that you're paying attention, that you understand what they're saying. Maybe you hear something new. You can say, oh, wow, that's interesting. Or, I see. I got it. There are many, many ways. Can you guys think of any good feedback phrases? If you were having a conversation with somebody, you're listening, and you like what they hear, what could be some good feedback phrases? Please post any feedback phrases you can think of in the chat. This is, again, a great, simple, but effective way to be an active part of a conversation, even if you're not doing the one speaking. Okay, can we see any feedback phrases in the chat? Okay, from Prit Academy, I'm enjoying this class. That's an actually excellent feedback phrase. You can just say that. Oh, I like this. Oh, that's a good point. I like what you're saying. Yeah, give positive feedback. It's a really great way to show that you're engaged in the conversation. David, glad to be here. That's a great phrase too, glad to be here, glad to be listening. I like it. Nice. Thank you so much, everyone. And Jerry from China. And Tsugu, I gotcha. Nice. Yeah, so if you get something, you hear, you understand, gotcha. Got it. Nice. You guys are awesome. Well done. Okay, next. So, active listening, feedback phrases, check and confirm your understanding. These are three really basic ways, again, to be an active part of the conversation. Now comes the main section, right? The meat and potatoes, we say, of the conversation. That's what to talk about. So, I'd like to go over some go-to topics for small talk conversation. So, go-to, we use that as an adjective in English, go-to. So your first choice, something you can choose often or every time. Someone may ask, what's your go-to beverage? Oh, I love Starbucks, so I'll take coffee. What's your go-to food? Pizza or hamburger or popsicles, whatever it is, go-to. Simple, easy, and trustworthy, a choice you can rely on. Okay, and I don't want to forget Facebook. So before we move on, I'd like to show Facebook some love. So Leonidas, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, but greetings. And below, Abdallahif from Somalia. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name too, but thank you for taking the time. B. Lee and Ahmed and Tool, Mongolia. Greetings from Mongolia. Thank you so much, everyone. So we're going over ways and techniques and tips to make good small talk. So thank you for chiming in with your comments. Again, just like you're chiming in online, as a listener, you can chime in with quick feedback phrases, positive feedback to be an active part of the conversation. Okay, so again, go-to, easy go-to topics. Number one, food and drink. We all love to eat and drink, so that's a great thing to talk about. So maybe you're meeting someone between a break, in a meeting or between classes. At school, you can talk about, do you want to get a cup of coffee? Or, I'm hungry. Do you have any idea of what I could eat around here? You can talk about what you had for dinner last night. Oh, I had the best pasta at this restaurant. If you like to drink, you can talk about, coffee, tea. If you drink alcohol, that's a topic also. I had this really nice cocktail at a bar last night. You should try it. If you don't drink, that's also fine. The point is, common topics. We all like to eat. We all drink at least water, or we should. Please stay hydrated, everyone. Next, hobbies. So, what do you do for fun, right? So, what do you all do for fun? If you're tuning in on YouTube or Facebook, I would love to hear. What are your hobbies? I would love to hear you chime in. Please share. So, Dila Oliveira from Brazil, what are some great things to do in Brazil? What do you recommend? From Ibrahim from Uzbekistan, what do you do for fun over in Uzbekistan? Please feel free to share. And going to Facebook, from Erlene from Haiti, okay, and from Habib in India, Kolkata City. Okay, thank you for tuning in. So again, food, drink, hobbies. Now, I'd like to pass it to you. What do you think are some good topics you would like to talk about during small talk? Maybe you can think of a conversation you recently had with some friends or family. What did you talk about? Please share that in the chat. I would love to hear some great ideas for small talk topics. Let's see. So, Eliado Desu. I'm sorry, I did not say that correctly, but who wants to learn Arabic? Okay, so language experience. That's a great topic also. Hello from Venezuela, from Arlio. Okay, so your hometown, your home country, your region. That's a great topic also. I'm from Los Angeles, California, USA. So that could be something I could talk about. Hey, I'm from LA, but I'm new in town. And then maybe you could talk about, what can I eat around here? What could I do for fun around here? Let's see some other topics in the chat, guys. Okay, from Brazil, Indian. Ozzy Fidan, I like to go to the concerts, listen to classical or rock music. Nice. So music, entertainment. These are awesome topics too. You can make suggestions or ask for recommendations. We'll get to that in just a minute. Again, travel, news, sports, weather, these are classic topics to talk about also. If it's hot outside, you can talk, man, it's so hot outside. If it's cold and snowy, oh my God, it's so cold outside. These are simple but effective topics. Let's see, more topics in the chat. From Tsugu, are you Laker? I think you're asking if I'm a Lakers fan, and absolutely, they are the best team in the NBA, and if you disagree, well, feel free to post your ideas and opinions in the chat. But to answer your question, yes. So my point is, there are so many topics that you can discuss and share with as long as they're simple and relatable. Common things, easy to talk about. On the other hand, there are some topics we want to avoid, some things we don't want to talk about. So some examples would be money, politics, or religion. So serious topics, things that people maybe have very strong opinions about, it's probably best to avoid. We don't want to talk about that. Again, small talk is simple, informal, and I'd like to say fun conversation. So we can avoid things like, who did you vote for? What do you think about this politician? How much money did you make? Are you married? Do you worship God? These are very serious topics. So please, unless you know the person well, I would avoid discussing these. Let's see, guys. Let's post some more topics into the chat. Anything on Facebook? Hello, Tuk or Thuk. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Anything on YouTube? Let's see. From Eric, Miami Heat are way better. Okay, so maybe we could have a friendly debate in our small talk. Do you like the Heat? Do you like the Lakers? Who's better and why? Now, this could lead to maybe some serious confrontation. So again, we want to keep the conversation light. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. So if you like the Heat, then support the Heat. Do it. Any more comments? Let's see, from Rocky Tran, hobbies to play basketball on a video game. Okay, so you can just say, I like to play basketball video games. And that's great. Okay, whether you like physical sports, playing basketball, whether you like games, again, hobbies. These are great ways to have a conversation. So you could talk about your favorite game or your favorite team or your favorite console. I like PlayStation. Oh, I'm an Xbox person. I like PC. Again, you can move on from there. Okay, well, thank you so much for your comments, everybody. Please keep them coming. What I'd like to do now, again, is to remind everybody of our free 2,000 Core Words English ebook. Again, it is free to download. So please click the link below if you're watching on YouTube, the link above if you're watching on Facebook. And again, you can access 2,000 of the most common, the most regular words in English, again, so that you can maybe speak a little more freely. You can have, easier, faster conversation, and that you can impress the person you're speaking with by flexing that English vocabulary muscle. Again, all you need is a name and an email address. You can make a free account and then hit the ground running. You can get started. So again, whether you're a beginner or whether you've been learning for a long time, it's great for all skill levels to learn, practice, and improve your English conversation ability as well as you're listening. So again, please check the link out and access our 2,000 core English workbooks. Thank you so much. Okay, back to the chat. Basketball video games, again from Rocky. Okay, exactly. From Jerry Who, I don't understand why religion should be avoided. Simple answer, people take it very seriously. We want to keep the conversation simple. We don't want to get too deep. Small talk usually maybe 5 minutes or less. We can talk about religion for a long time. So simple rule, just keep it simple. Next, what I'd like to add to, we're talking about go-to topics. A great way to keep a conversation going. Maybe you start the conversation. Oh, I like basketball video games. I like the Heat. Oh, I love pasta. These are great ways to start the conversation, but many people have trouble keeping the conversation going. What can I do? What can I say? I want to keep talking, but how? So a simple but effective way is just to ask questions. I'd like to highlight the 5W1H concept. 5W1H. So who, what, where, when, why, and how. So again, think of details. So maybe you're talking, let's see if we can find some comments in the chat. Any more small talk topics? So basketball video games. Okay, yes, so basketball video games, a much more simple way to put it. So if you're talking about basketball video games, who, what, where, when, why. So what team? How do you play? When do you play? Who do you play with? When did you start playing? Why do you like basketball video games? Just think of more details. So again, most people like talking about themselves. It might be difficult to talk about new topics or unfamiliar topics, but we all know ourselves pretty well, so ask questions to learn more about somebody. Oh, so you like basketball. Oh, so do you play basketball? Have you ever seen a live basketball game? What's your favorite basketball team? Again, just think, I want to learn more. So along with body language and active listening, asking follow-up questions is an excellent way to be active in the conversation, to learn more about this person. And who knows, that's a great way to lay a foundation for a strong relationship and to have more conversation practice. Again, keep that conversation going. Okay, so let's think of some follow-up questions. We've shared some topics in the chat. Can you think of any good follow-up questions? Maybe we're talking about food, right? So what's your favorite food? And maybe some examples. Or travel. Where have you traveled before? Where do you want to travel? So think of some good topics and maybe some follow-up questions or details you can post in the chat. I would love to shout out to some of you guys. So let's see, back to Facebook. Let's give Facebook some love. So Sanaga, so hi teacher, hello. From Gadan, what's your name? My name is John. For everyone that's maybe tuning in a little late, again, my name is John and it's nice to meet you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Back to YouTube. Let's see, some good questions. What do you want to learn this year from Bella? Okay, that's a really general question. There are so many things that we can learn, but that's great. That's a good question. You can ask an open question like that, and it really gives the speaker a lot of freedom to talk about anything they want. So let's see, Turk, my hobby is make a candle. Nice, okay. So we can actually change that into the present continuous form. My hobby is making, ing. My hobby is making candles. You can say making a candle. That's just one candle. I like making one candle. My hobby is making candles with an S. So maybe you like to do it every day or many times. My hobby is making candles. That's a nice hobby, Turk. So my follow-up questions would be, when did you start making candles? Or how? How do you make candles? What do you make them out of? Do you use beeswax? What kind of materials do you use? Again, there's so many different topics you could lead to from that. Let's see, anything else? Okay, from 2, where can I join a basketball club? Great question. So that takes us to asking for recommendations. So again, 5W1H, who, what, where, when, why, how. You can also ask, I want to try that. How? How can I do that? So Turk, how? How can I start making candles? What would you suggest? How could I get into that? Where? Where can I join a basketball club? That sounds fun. I want to try too. Let's see, Tsugusu, how often do you play? Nice. That's great too. Yeah, how often? Can I join next time? Do you recommend buying some good shoes or equipment? Again, just ask for more information. Let's see, any more chat? Greetings from Mongolia, from Tools, okay, and from Ahmet. Adam on Facebook, communication skills. Lydia Pierre from Rockland County. Okay, communication skills. Is that a question, Adam? So how can I improve my communication skills? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today. So keep tuning in and you will continue to improve your communication skills. Just keep practicing, keep talking. Again, we don't want to hesitate. It's far better to maybe say something a little incorrectly than to say nothing. So again, please don't hesitate. Ask questions, check and confirm your understanding, ask for details, ask for recommendations. You can also share recommendations. The point is we want more details, whether you're listening or whether you're talking. Let's see. Finally, one thing that many people often also have some problems with is wrapping the conversation up. So what I'd like to do today is just go over some tips on how to effectively wrap a conversation so you're not standing at the end wondering, well, I have nothing else to say, and just run away. We don't want to do that. We want to maybe end on a high note, as we say. So a simple but really common and really just polite and friendly phrase to finish with is, it's been nice talking to you, or it's been great talking to you, it's been fun talking to you. We just want to have a nice positive adjective in there. It's been wonderful talking to you. It's been magnificent talking to you. Again, be honest, be natural. You don't need to have very fancy vocabulary. You can also just say, I had a nice chat. Thank you for talking. Thanks for your time. Again, just a friendly wrap-up phrase. So it's been good talking to you. And then maybe provide a reason why you need to get going. So, it's all right, I need to get going. You can leave it at that. That's fine. If you want to share, maybe I have to get to work. I have to go meet my family. I have a hot date, so I need to get going. Whatever your reason is, you can feel free to share that also. But also you can just end with just, hey, I gotta go. It's been fun talking. Maybe see you next time. Thanks for the chat. Let's talk again soon. These are effective ways to end that conversation on a high note, leave a good impression with the person you're talking with so that they want to talk with you again next time. Again, the best way to improve your communication skills is to communicate, to talk more. So we want good relationships with people, and we want conversation to be fun and easy. So again, small talk is such a great way to do that. So we have just a few minutes left. Any more comments in the chat? Let's see. Nice tips. Thank you from Tools from Ahmet. How can we find each other out? So I think you maybe are asking for communication tips or how to stay in touch. So maybe exchanging phone numbers, exchanging emails, that's a great way. Thank you for that comment. So if you want to continue talking with someone, maybe you can add them in a chat group or something like that. If you use Line or WhatsApp or communication apps like that, maybe you can become friends online and keep the conversation going at a later date. So thank you very much for that, Ahmet. That's a great way. End on a high note and offer to talk again in the future. That is about all the time we have for today. So finally, I'd like to move out the way. Maybe you can get a screenshot, take a photo of this whiteboard here, and go ahead and do that as, again, I plug our 2000 Core English workbooks. The link is in the YouTube description. Okay, so if I can step back in here, hopefully you got your screenshots. If not, you can just stream it again. So again, 2000 Core English words. This is a great way to improve your vocabulary or to review and practice. Great for all skill levels. Again, all you need is an email address and your name. It's 100% free, and you can study at your own pace. So again, practice and practice and practice. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. You are all awesome. Facebook, Ludia, thank you so much. And from someone whose name is in Thai, I'm sorry, I do not read Thai, but thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Again, thank you, YouTube, for all the love. Thank you as well, Facebook. You guys are awesome. Please keep up the good work, and we will see you next week. That's all the time we have for today, guys. So until then, again, my name is John, and keep that small talk going because simple conversation can actually make a huge difference. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next time.